And then we can go like this, and we go like this. Now, you don't want to do it because you want to play around with Hugo's stacks. But just for the sake of the screenshot, there you go, guys. That is the play there. You go ahead and get yourself the 10 daggers in hand with AP to spare, mind you. Hey guys, welcome back to Chaos Zero Nightmare. In today's video, I want to show you my absolute most fun Tressa build that I have and the combo that works absolutely insane. Now, this one isn't just fun. I think it's actually genuinely cracked. Those who watched on stream will know what I'm talking about. But I got to give a massive shout out. I'm sure a lot of people have done this already, but massive shout out to my man Grimro, who showed me this one on day one of the game's release. I didn't get a actual epiphany with it until about 2 days ago, so I'm fresh doing this and I'm absolutely loving it. If we go over here to her save data, the key card is this one, Shadow Reload. It is an upgrade. It is Outbreak of War, so it starts in your hand. When healed by a skill card, create one Shadow Dagger. This thing is absolutely amazing. And if you guys don't know the way upgrades work, I showed it over with my Hugo when I did his one. If you play multiple upgrades, you get that effect multiple times. So in this save file, I have 3 of this. 3 of this means every time I get healed by a card, it actually gives me 3 Shadow Daggers. Now, like everything in the game, there's some buggy stuff. For instance, the healed off of Whirlpool does not trigger it. For some reason, doesn't give me a card. But also, partner ultimates apparently count as cards in this thing's text because they, if you have a partner skill that does a heal, it will generate you 3 daggers as well. So there's some weird stuff going on there. Now, I don't think you need 3. 3's really fun. I think you get away with 2 as well. You know, this save file got all the basics added back in to go ahead and get this, but it is what it is. Now, the combo that I'm using is with Mika because obviously Mika has a ton of healing in her kit, and that essentially allows us to use a bunch of healing. Now, this build isn't the best. Obviously, got the Whirlpool added back in, the basic attack. It is what it is, but no one's save files are going to be perfect. So the healing is going to be there, and then I obviously pair it with Hugo because it is honestly just a perfect synergy. When we look over here and we have his Hunting Instincts Outbreak of War, which now I have 2 of these, meaning that he can always, every skill card we use, he gains 2 stacks of his Commence the Hunt, which means he's going to be able to do his follow attack because he needs Commence the Hunt to do his follow-up attack, which is his big damage. Now, that also means because I only have 5 Outbreak of War cards in my deck, the 2 here from Hugo and the 3 here from Tressa, that is always going to be my starting hand. So your starting hand is a bit of a pass turn because you just play them and then away you go. But make sure you always play Hugo's first if you're trying this because then you will get the stacks on Hugo for playing Tressa's cards. Now, the one thing I want to mention with Hugo is that if we go over here to Epiphany, you can actually get the 0 cost. Now, mine got to 0 cost because of a Divine Epiphany, but you can actually get a 0 cost one just at base, and the only thing you would lose was my other Epiphany effect, which was, I think he gets a shield, like 20% shield, so it's not big. So you can get it. Just note, I've mained Hugo since the very start of the game. I've never seen this ability, Epiphany, into this 0 cost without a Divine Epiphany reducing cost. Don't know if it's bugged. I haven't seen it personally, but it is there in the files. It should be droppable. Maybe I'm just unlucky as hell. But that is that. Now, the one thing I do want to mention, if you do have the first dupe of Mika, okay, another text error. Just another day, another text error in the game. It has Outbreak of War on Deluge, so that would be a 6th one, meaning your first opening hand could get messed up. In that case, you would want to either drop down one of the Tressa's ones, or you just remove this from your build on your Mika. You could have a Mika build without Deluge, and then you don't have to worry about it. Now, Deluge ain't too bad when you get this one, because at the start of battle, you gain 2 wave, meaning you play the Deluge. It's basically a free upgrade, but once again, that's just some options that you have. So let's jump in and let's take a look at it. Now, where we are using this is going to be in the Basin of Hyperspace level 10. So the hardest content we have that we can bring saves in. Now, my second team just sucks, so we're not quite there yet, but this first team is still cooking. And you can see my Hugo's build isn't even that great. Like, we're on 36k power, which ain't crazy, but just because he's got that 0 cost on his outbreaks, that is why this works, because we can use with our 3 starting AP, we can get it all set up and things go quite crazy. So let's see if we can get this going. All right, so obviously this is our starting hand every time. No exceptions. Starting hand just looks like this every time. So let's go Hugo first. That gets his. And then once we put these 3 out there, you can see my Hugo next to his face, he's got 2, now he's got 4, now he's got 5 stacks. So he's max stacked. Now we can just go ahead and end our turn. And away you go. Okay, that's all right. Hopefully we don't draw into it. We drew into it, damn it. Okay, so this has healing, which is nice. We can get daggers with this, and we can get his stacks with that and with that. So what we're going to do here is, because we want to push a little bit of damage straight away. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to go and kill these ads. So with this, I tried a cheesy strat where I just killed the boss before. You've actually got to kill the ads. The ads don't go away if the boss dies, unfortunately, on this one. So we're going to do a second one here. Okay, that takes us down to 3 stacks of our hunt, and we can kill with that. Or what I might do is, if we're going to do this because this takes us up to max stacks with our Hugo. So we're just going to put some damage into this guy, break his shield, away we go. Because I think one of these basic 0 costs should get through the next guy. Once we go ahead and let's do this one. Actually, we can use the curse now. That's fine. This will get us to 5 stacks, and then we might need a crit to kill. No, we just get a free kill on this guy, which is perfect. Unfortunately, his card got deleted. So obviously, this boss is a bit tricky because you have all those extra things to think about. But there we go. We're going to go ahead and get ourselves an extra 3 of the cards. Once again, that really sucks. I would love to use that because that really does help Hugo's damage. But hey, it is what it is. Oh, we got no AP anyway. So now we can go ahead and do this one. Hugo follow-up, nice. Crit, got the kill, perfect. And now we can start laying into this boss. Now, obviously, this is still the first wave, but we're just sort of in the setup phase. Once you get set up, it's pretty solid. Just depends on the burns, because all the burn cards in this battle really do suck. All right, we've got a gear bag, which is great. We've got a burn, that's not so great. We're on 2 stacks with Hugo, which means we can quite comfortably... do we use a dagger, chain the gear bag? That will go up to 3 stacks, and then we can go up to 5. I think we'll play it like that. So we're going to do this, chain the gear bag. That'll take my Hugo up to 3 stacks, because we want to float with him at 5 stacks. Then we can use this one, which is going to give us a heal and an AP. Now, it's not the greatest here. We're not in the best position, but we do get to ditch these burns, which is really nice. We can use the deluge because that'll give us an extra AP on our next turn. So let's go ahead and throw that in, and then we can just ditch these daggers. What I should have done was 2 daggers, then done the upgrade, and then again, once again, got to get a bit brain farted there. Okay, let's take a look. So he's going to be doing his big attack. Yep, cool. There's a burn. That's all right. Unfortunately, keep drawing those damn burns. All right, so now we want to get stacks up, so we can use this. We get ourselves 3 more daggers. Boom. Then we can do this, draw more cards. Perfect. Okay, so now we can do this, which will take us up to max stacks. Fortunately, we're not drawing into all the heals, which would give us all the daggers. But there we go. We can go ahead and do this, and you get the gist of what we're doing here. We got the AP, so I'm going to get the shield up, and then we'll do this. I'm not sure if the shield carries over into the next wave, but hey, we'll take it anyway. No, it doesn't. Deletes. That's all right. Okay, so now we can start cooking because we got 2 heal cards. We got the gear bag and we got the curse. So this is a really nice position to be in. So we're going to put the curse on this guy. We're going to focus him down first, and this is where we can combo off against this enemy. So there we go. We got even more heals, which is just damn fantastic. So what we can do is, because we got so much AP, actually we don't have so much because these do cost. So we might just use this one. We might do this attack. That'll reduce 1, so let's do that. Perfect. And then we can go ahead and use this one. That's going to give us 1 wave, which actually gives us an extra AP as well, which is nice. And that'll give us 3 daggers. Now, if I wanted to be super cheesy, I could use these 2 right now, and we could fill up the board with all daggers. It looks kind of crazy when you do it. So we're just going to do it for the sake of being a bit cheesy. So let's go ahead and do this. You know what? For the absolute sake of being as cheesy as possible, we're going to do it so we can get the screenshot for you guys. So if I use 1, that drops us down. Then we get 6, that brings us to 8. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. All right, so here we go. We're going to do this. Then we're going to use an AP to heal. Boom. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and use this, because that gives us 2 more spell cards that we can use. Okay, this could cost us the run, but for the sake of a cheesy thumbnail picture, we're going to do it. So you can see here, we can use 2 more, and then we get 2 more. Yeah, so we're going to use 2 more, kill this guy. Now we're at 3 stacks on our, because we're still trying to play it optimally with Hugo. And then we're going to use this one. Cool. And we still got plenty of AP generation. That puts us on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would bring us to 9. You know what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let's just do this. Let's do that one. I'm trying to not absolutely burn the run, but we want to have some fun because we want to get it. So we get 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we can do one more. Yep. And then we can go like this, and we go like this. Now, you don't want to do it because you want to play around with Hugo's stacks. But just for the sake of the screenshot, there you go, guys. That is the play there. You go ahead and get yourself the 10 daggers in hand with AP to spare, mind you. AP to spare. Now, one thing funny that we can do is if I move my head, because my head's kind of in the way of the cool stuff that you guys want to pay attention to, if we got up to being able to use this, it actually gives us a free draw from our deck. But once again, we got nothing that we can play here, so it doesn't really matter. So let's see how we go. Now, obviously, because we spam them, we don't get to keep the Hugo stacks as much. So it kind of makes the run a bit scuffed because Hugo only gets 5 follow-up attacks. So if you're playing this properly, you manage those stacks a lot better. But you can see those last few, we didn't get the follow-up attack, but you get the gist. It's still pretty damn fun. So there we go. We got all those bad boys, which really does suck over there. So that puts us in a bit of an awkward spot where he's going to smack us pretty hard. We could do this. Once again, unfortunately, this one doesn't actually give us any value because it doesn't, the heal on this doesn't count. So that's the unfortunate thing. But what we might do is we might just pitch those and then put a shield up. Pass turn. We could have drawn a card, but I think we do have an upgrade in here somewhere. Yeah, it would have just drawn his upgrade, so not too stressed on that. Dot, we take the damage. We're still alive, though. That can get screwed. And then there we go. So now we should be pretty fine to go ahead and do this. I don't know if I've cost us by being very wasteful there, but let's go ahead and just spam these. We'll do the big ones. We'll get some crits and we should be pretty safe to do it. We're out of Hugo attacks now, so he doesn't have any follow-ups left, and the boss got the shield, which is kind of toxic for us. So now we can just go that, bam. And then we pass turn. Oh, we can get rid of that. Let's do that. And there you go, boss dead. So that's a little bit of fun. Once again, you really want to play around, especially if you're using Hugo with this, on the way you do it, but we can just cancel that because this team's got no chance. Escape, yep. Yeah, if you're playing with Hugo, you always want to like get him, especially if he's got 2 of his upgrade card. You want to get him down to 3 stacks, then use a spell card to bring him back up to 5 stacks, and you want to keep him on 5 stacks without overcapping as much as possible. But that is the combo. Now, I do think there is room to do this. If I had Cassius, I think Cassius would be a really good one. I tried it with Veronica, but because she doesn't have healing, she has shielding instead. I feel like Cassius as a draw power shielder could allow her to do this as a solo DPS. And I have a build that I actually like for it. If I change builds, I think it's, where is it? Because there's a card that I really like with it. So this one here only got 1 save. No, where is it? I had one that I absolutely loved for it. It is this one. So you can see this build, it's got 2 copies of it, but then it's also got this card here where it does 3 damage, but it's plus 10% damage per target's agony. So if you played around with her with this same principle of generating daggers, putting that agony on, because each dagger puts agony, but instead of having a second, like a DPS that benefits from it, like Hugo, you run card draw like Cassius, who also heals, which gives her more daggers. I feel like you could get to an insane position where this thing just does like half a boss's HP and you absolutely slap. So there's all these different ways to play it. Maybe one day I'll go and cook that, but I tried it with Veronica, didn't work. Not enough, we didn't get enough daggers out, and my builds are obviously scuffed because of all those basics, but it's something else really fun that you can go ahead and experiment with. But I think Tressa is honestly one of the best units in the game. I think she's just insane with all her potential and combo potential. But anyway, guys, that is going to be it for this one. As always, thanks for watching. Hope you had an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.